Hey, what the fuck is up, y'all? This is Crazy McKormik up in this motherfucking bitch for Juggalo a day, bitch. And new topic, new week. And this week's topic, we were originally going to do this last week, but it ended up getting overthrown because we wanted to continue to do the thing about disses and diss tracks and stuff like that. But this week's topic is actually going to be some party stories. Now, you could probably just look at me and say, yeah, this guy's probably not that much of a partier. And if that's exactly what you're saying, you're dead right. I'm not really that much of a party goer. I've always really been the type of guy that kind of just keeps to myself and never been that much of a drinker, never been that much of a smoker or anything like that. You know, just, you know, for, you know, in my younger years, I really never liked going out. You know, throughout my adolescence, I was always a big fan of Nintendo and, you know, doing shit like that, you know, just keeping to self. But when I started really delving deeper and deeper into the whole Juggalo community thing, during the time where Yahoo Chat was actually prominent and Yahoo Messenger, that was when I started really getting to know Juggalos from all over the country. And I ended up meeting up with some people from Battle Creek, hung out with them over the course of a couple of months, and through them, I ended up actually being invited to my first ever house party in Flint, Michigan. Yeah, that was interesting as fuck. Never had seen anything like a fucking house party ever. And so this was my first experience being a part of a house party. And I ended up going there, and it was just from the fucking basement to the second floor, nothing but fucking juggalos. Drinking liquor, smoking weed, bumping the wicked shit. And I didn't know anybody there. Most of the time I just kind of sat in the back and kind of soaked it all in. As a matter of fact, I had never been around this many juggalos at this point in time. Never had been to a concert, never had been to a gathering, and surprisingly, I was actually able to get my ass down there. At the time, I was driving a '79 Buick LeSabre, really wasn't making a whole lot of money. Also really didn't know that much about car care. Now, the reason why I point this out, you'll find out towards the end of the story. So I ended up meeting a couple of motherfuckers that came in also from Detroit. Mikey was his name, and his bigger brother Perm. And I ended up hanging out with Mikey, although Mikey was hood as fuck. And through Mikey, I also met this this girl named Stacy, which everybody had called Psycho Kitten. As a matter of fact, I think it was actually her that invited me to this party. Psycho Kitten, you might actually know her. She, if you might actually know who she is. Psycho Kitten portrayed Kim Mathers in the JCW Volume 3 video. At the end where Eminem comes out with a fat bitch, and that ended up actually being my friend Stacy. Now the thing about Stacy though was on Yahoo Messenger, she was definitely a chick that was incredibly comfortable with her body. She was a big girl, but damn, she had some big ass titties, and she was definitely not afraid to open up the webcam and show them motherfuckers off. I still have images burned in my head of these big, fat, fucking titties. So, yeah, somewhere on the internet, Psycho Kitten still lurks. I fell out from that crew a long time ago, and I don't remember where they're at or what they're doing. Actually, I know that all of those ninjas are either, you know, they're either in Flint or even farther east of Flint, Michigan. But nevertheless, you know, I ended up meeting all of these people, and I had myself a good time. And they were just blasting the fuck out of everything fucking wicked shit at the time. More prominently than anything else, I think I heard Freak Show more than I heard any other album being played. Like, they would play a song here and a song there from different CDs, but then at some point somebody put in Freak Show and that whole album just fucking played all the way through. That's one thing I definitely remember. And unfortunately for me, during this time, I also remember the entire fucking time I was there, I was seriously trying to fuck that Psycho Kitten chick. Yeah, your boy failed on that one. I will admit, I ruthlessly failed on that one. But from what I heard, Mikey ended up hitting that shit. On top of that, postscript to the story, Mikey also fucking faked his death on Yahoo the night after that shit went down, and he disappeared for like 4 months. Drove everybody fucking nuts. Yeah, that was actually pretty funny. But, like, it was, I think I was probably at that house party for about 4 hours before one of the neighbors ended up getting tired of it at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the fucking morning and decided to call the cops. And you know what happens when that goes down? The fucking lights turn on and the roaches scatter, basically. Once word got out that the cops were fucking called, yeah, everybody fucking left. I had to walk 2 blocks to my car, and yeah, I had to walk about 2 blocks from that house to my car. I parked at some gas station, like right behind it, so I didn't think I'd be worried about whether or not I got towed. And I jumped in my fucking whip and I got the fuck out of there. And on my way home, my fucking battery died in my car. I tried to turn it over thinking that it might have just been like a mishap or something like that. The car wouldn't even, you know, like when you turn the fucking key and it clicks and then it goes because there's not enough juice going into the starter to actually start the car. My battery fucking died. And so I'm stuck on the fucking highway at like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I walked 1.5 miles to the next exit, praying to God that there was a working payphone over there, because at the time, let's see, yeah, my phone was dead, my cell phone was dead, and I had no money. I didn't even have change to fucking make a payphone call. So I had to call my mom collect. My mom freaked out, and she ended up telling me to go back to the car. She was going to call the insurance company to get a tow truck to try to get me some gas. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with gas. My battery died. So she's like, all right, well, fuck. What do we do? Now, so what happened is she ended up calling the tow truck, and she actually got to me from Grand Rapids to Vernon before the fucking tow truck got there. In the meanwhile, this is a cold night, so I had to do everything in my power to stay warm in my car while it's freezing outside, and I have no juice in my car. I have no fucking money. I have nothing. I didn't even have an emergency kit. But I did my best to try to get some sleep until my parents got there stay warm, and wait until my parents got there. And then the tow truck got there, and my mom had informed me that while she was on her way to me in Vernon from Grand Rapids, Michigan, she had called my uncle who lives in that town and told him about what had happened. I was at a house party in Flint. My car is dead on the road, and she's on her way over to come get me. And he's like, you know, and what basically was said is that, and what basically was said was that my mom was calling the tow truck. The tow truck was going to bring my car over to my uncle's house, and we'd be able to get the car taken care of from there. And that's exactly what had happened. The party was fun, though, up until the point where the cops ended up getting called. And then my car fucking dies. Once I got home, I ended up going on the internet and started talking to everybody about the party and stuff like that. And they ended up asking me if I would be interested in coming back to Flint to do it again anytime soon. And I said, fuck no. I am never coming back there for a fucking house party unless I actually have a car that's worth a fuck. And I told them what had happened, and they all laughed. It is actually pretty fucking funny, though. But yeah, I haven't been back to Flint since. And this was like 15 years ago. But that's my one and only story about parties. So if anybody's got party stories, go ahead and share your video over to us, and we'll check it out. Until next time, I'm Kreyz McKormik. I'm out this motherfucking bitch. Tune in tomorrow from Mr. Makan Hose, and I'll be back next week. Deuces.